Well, I thought we were going to get a break today, but turns out let's go ahead and hop back on here for a update video. We have a sneaky system moving into northern Michigan tonight into tomorrow. We're going to talk about that, and maybe we'll take a break from a video tomorrow to give you guys a weekend break. First, I do want to point out the snowfall analysis and compare it to our forecast. We did have a couple areas that did not perform as well. The first area here is going to be in western Michigan by Grand Rapids. We did have a 5 to 10 slash 3 to 6 zone through the heart of Grand Rapids here. So that really didn't verify. We're getting 2-3 inch reports out of Grand Rapids, especially over here by Ionia County. We had 3 to 6 here. Only got about an inch or two there. So underperforming there in the Grand Rapids area. But otherwise, that area, the west side of Michigan, did continue to. We had a 5 to 10 zone. Looks like most of these reports are in line between 5 and 10. Looks like that verified quite nicely. Other two areas we want to point out here is the thumb. If you remember correctly, we had the extension over here. I think it looked something like this. If I draw it correctly, let's draw another circle. This circle right about here, we had highlighted for a little bit higher amounts, 2 to 4 plus, I believe it was. And the only caveat is we got that quite nicely handled there, as you see a little bit of an extension of some higher amounts. But the thumb, especially up here, overperformed double what we had forecasted. Some reports 8-9 inches of snow through Caseville, Port Hope, those areas through the thumb. So apologies to you guys in the thumb. You guys got a lot more lake effect snow than forecasted. So that was just something that we just did not see on models, and we did not have, we didn't think it was going to happen, but it did. Last area we're going to highlight here, southeast Michigan, far southeast Michigan, the Detroit metro area down through Adrian Monroe area. That area did not pick up much in the way of anything besides a trace to a dusting in spots, maybe an inch in isolated spots. But that's because the line unexpectedly petered out. It died before it got to you guys. So unfortunately, you guys got the wind and flash freeze part of the event, but the 1 to 3, I believe we had forecasted for you guys, did not verify that far east. So overall, I think a good forecast at 80 to 90% of Michigan verified, but there's just a few areas that did not. Now, moving into the future here, we have a system on tap for tonight into tomorrow. Let's go ahead and look at the model here, HRRR model. We're going to watch as some lake effect snow showers continue in the UP today. Look to the northwest here. It's kind of like a clipper system. Moves through here. Light snow for the UP, northern lower, but then look on the west side of the UP there. That is freezing rain. Yes, I said that. Freezing rain. That is going to move in or expected to move into the western UP tomorrow morning, which is Saturday morning, right around the 8 to 9 a.m. time frame. It will move slowly to the east, and it may change over to rain to end it as well. But notice how the east side of this stays mostly all snow. But there are some areas here that could get some mixed precip in spots here. So overall, we have a forecast out on our Facebook page. I did not load it in. I apologize. Let's see if I can load it in here real quick while I'm talking. But we did have a forecast. It's not going to be a major ice event. It's going to be, in fact, a pretty minor event, but still enough that could slick up some roadways for you guys, especially if you are in elevated surfaces, which a lot of the UP kind of is. Go ahead and slide this over here. There we go. There is our forecast for you guys in terms of the ice and snow accumulations, looking at half a tenth, 0.05 inches in the western part of the UP, and then just 1/100th of an inch there in the purple areas. So nothing major, but could be enough to slick up some roadways, some sidewalks, your patios. Just be careful in the western UP if that does start to accumulate or accrete, whatever the term you want to use is. Further east, we do have 1 to 3 in the gray zone highlighted for snow accumulation, 2 to 5 in the blue zone. We could see localized higher amounts if we can get a lake effect response, although right now we're not expecting too much of a response from that. Overall, general accumulation should be between 1 and 5 inches across the eastern UP and northern lower Michigan. That the main time frame for that will be late tonight. It'll start and then it'll clear the state. If we look at the model here, clear the state roughly around midnight Saturday into Sunday morning. So pretty much an all-day event for you guys up there in the UP and northern lower. Snow, mix, ice, all possible with some rain even mixing in to boot. All right. That is your forecast for tomorrow. I want you guys to be aware. No real threat for rain or storms or snow at all for lower Michigan tomorrow. So you guys are all good. But I will say I want to highlight the future here. Number one thing we're going to highlight, warm air is incoming here. We may touch 50 in spots come Monday. I know the model here is saying 44 out of Grand Rapids, but if you live close to 94 from like the Kalamazoo to Detroit areas, you are going to be close, if not over 50 degrees come Monday. A little bit of a brief warm up here, but across the state too, we're going to be in the 40s, perhaps high 30s for the UP if we can get lucky up there. But I do think it's going to be warm. It's going to feel warm compared to what we had a few days ago. Wind chills right around 0. It's going to feel like a big warm up here for Michigan, but it won't last long. And the cold that's coming is not going to last long either. It's going to drop back off midweek, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's going to rebound next week back into the 40s here. And that pattern may be a little more longer lasting. And we'll get to that here in a second. But I also want to finish this on a few things here. The European, we looked at this at the very start of the month. We're going to look at it again here to kind of get an idea. We've been tracking these active patterns system after system working through. But the problem we're having now is pinpointing, well, is it going to be cold enough for snow or is it going to be warm enough for rain? And the European model, especially, here's that system for tomorrow. Look ahead here to the future. We're going to have these systems. There's a low pressure over Minnesota. The north side of that system is snow, but the European says we're too warm in Michigan. If you're not in the UP or perhaps very far northern lower, we may get cold rain in lower Michigan, kind of like last year for these systems, if this plays out how I think it will. But it's a little bit too far out to pinpoint. But another system here on tap for Sunday, Monday. That looks to be a mix of rain and snow for the state. Continue the future, though, we're going to have multiple systems. Lake effect response definitely possible during that early midweek next week as well. But look at off to the west here. Another system works up. And again, rain on the south side, snow on the north side. And again, another one coming through here later in the month. Mid-month time frame, rain on the south side, snow on the north side. So what's going to come down to is our temperatures here in Michigan. The active pattern is going to be here, but looking at the future models, looking at the overall pattern, I do think we're going to be kind of borderlining these systems where the further north you go, the better chance for snow becomes. But the further south you go, we may just end up getting rain. If we can trend colder, snow solution verifies. If we trend warmer, then we're going to have rain. That's your update. We'll go into detail about the upcoming systems here as we get more details. Right now, it's just kind of pinpointing how warm we're going to be. I think the active pattern continues throughout December. Again, it's just going to come down to how the temperatures respond as well. Let me know in the comments, team snow or team rain. What do you guys want to see here in the winter? I know last year we had a lot of rain, a lot of warmth. I know a lot of snow lovers got disappointed, but this year we're off to a good start for lake effect belts. But I know a lot of east siders are still wanting their big old snowfall. So it's coming. I do think we'll get some snow over there at some point this year. It's just going to be a matter of getting cold enough to get that and to support that. With that being said, end the video here on a shout out to our sponsor, Cast Roofing and Siding. You're based out of the Lansing and Battle Creek areas. They cover South Central Michigan with roofing, siding, window, and gutter needs. Give them a call, 517-485-9886. And thank you for Cats to sponsoring our YouTube videos and streams here at Michigan Storm Chasers YouTube. With that being said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another. Actually, I'll rephrase that. We'll catch you guys hopefully. We'll say Sunday. We'll try and give you guys tomorrow off if we can actually manage it. Let's go ahead and plan for Sunday for our next video here on YouTube. You guys stay safe, travel safe. I know some roads are still slick out there from the previous snow. Take it easy. We'll catch you guys Sunday as the plan.